I trade spot and futures on BYDFi, and if you want to set up an account now, send me a message once you've created your account with your username and UID on Telegram, and I'll put you into a randomly selected prize draw. I've got $10, $20 and $50 gift cards to give out, which basically go against your trading fees, giving you free trading fees basically until the gift cards run out. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to look at GMX and a little bit of an overview of the market, not just the market but other things as well. But I'll start with GMX because this is the video that I'm talking about. So, and then if you wanted to stay for the rest, you can stay. So GMX, it's one of those coins which was very cool, wasn't it? Going back a little, not too long ago. It's not a very old chart, but it was trendy. It was cool. All the kids talking about it. Oh, GMX, man, it's so cool. Oh, you gotta buy GMX, man, it's cool. It's so cool, and that's basically what caused this. And then all the cool kids have been washed out at this point now, and now it's time to be traded, so we can start to look at this from a trader's perspective. And if that's the case, there's two things going on as far as this week is concerned. We moved up to the top of this resistance, major resistance, $55. And rejected, the market rejected generally, and this rejected also, and it came down to hit a 20 simple moving average, so the 20 weekly. Also, we've got a rising support, which basically with the horizontal resistance, it gives us a nice formation, doesn't it? It gives us a what do you want to call it? Rising wedge, pizza slice, ascending triangle. Whatever you want to call it, it's technically a bullish formation. The reason it's bullish is because supports obviously get higher with every candle body close, so you're more likely to maintain a higher low structure, and the resistance remains the same. So at some point we get squeezed towards the apex. You'd really want to see this break. To be fair, you do really want to see it break December into January. You don't want to be hanging around in this area too long. The rules usually that I go by is that if you're getting close to the end of the apex, whatever move is normally followed by a counter move, so if it's a failed breakout. So we want to see this move up to the top of the range at least anyway, and that's what I'd expect to see based on this chart. Now, if we look at this, we've got golden cross, which has failed. It's not completely failed. It's not got a death cross so far. And if you were to say, okay, we'll recover from here to the top, that's a 20% move, which is also the move, the top move on the total 2 that I'd be speculating. So, and that also gives Ethereum like a new local high if it were to do it of 20% of around about 2,800. So it's still reasonable to assume that we're going to find a move from the bottom to the top of this range. Whether we break through it or reject from it, it's no big deal. I'm still looking for that kind of move. Now, simmering momentum over here, not broken out, so you can see cross below the 0 point. Histogram's ticking up, but no bullish breakout yet. We got the RSI still consolidating with price action. Same deal over here with the money flow index. Obviously, it was quite high. We're still consolidating. So there's a giant consolidation still on momentum and volume, and not ready for anything major other than a consolidation. We can consolidate within this formation, no problem, and rise up to the top while consolidating with momentum as well. If we were to get the breakout of $55 with the breakout of momentum and volume, then yeah, we can target much higher on this one. Starting from around 60, but to be honest, probably looking to more the upper 60s towards 70 if that was the case. But again, assuming resistances break before any signs that it would break is a fool's game. To target the 20% to the resistance is probably the better way to go about doing things. But I know that people don't like to do that, and people like to live for, well, they fool themselves. So I'm just putting it to you now that if there is a trade to be made here, it's a 20% move really. Anything other than that would be a bonus, but it shouldn't be expected. Right, so that is GMX for you, and I quite like it. Let's face it, I quite like it. I've also heard that it's very cool, like I said at the beginning, because it's cool. Maybe it'll become even cooler again in the future. These things can happen. I'll tell you, here's something that's cool. Solana is very cool. I don't know why, it just is. There's other blockchains out there that surpass it from its speed, and they don't actually have outages and stuff, but it doesn't seem to matter. Solana's cool. That's all it really takes, really. It just takes it to be cool. So Solana's cool. Maybe GMX will be cool once again, because it definitely was cool in the past. I'm just trying to put it out to you. Sometimes things move, not because they have got utility, not because they've got value, just because they're cool. They're cool. I don't have any influence on the market, but there are some, very young, enthusiastic crypto influencers out there that do have lots of fans and followers who basically are cool, and whatever they say is cool, and people will buy it to be cool. And it might come a time where this becomes cool again, like it was back down here, and when it reached its all-time high around $92. Right, so something else I was going to show you is Coinbase. And it's not because I'm saying, oh, buy Coinbase. I'm not saying that. I've got Coinbase in my pension. From quite a considerable entry point, I have to say. And this has absolutely dwarfed Bitcoin's moves. And I was making a video about this in the summer last year, saying, look, if you believe in the 4-year cycle, you believe in the model that is Bitcoin and crypto's bull market, then you should believe that something like Coinbase and the crypto mining stocks will rally hard. And given the size of their pullbacks and their moves, throughout Bitcoin's ups and downs in 2022 and 2023, it seems pretty apparent that whatever Bitcoin does, these guys will do 2 or 3 times harder. And it's real money as well. So, none of that USDT stuff. This is the real deal. This is solid pounds, solid dollars, if you can call them solid. Obviously, looking at the Dixie, they don't feel particularly solid. They feel weak AF. But yeah, I just wanted to put it to you that obviously as we approach this this high on Bitcoin, which I believe is going to be a considerable high, and we're not there yet, towards 48,000. It's where the market's most likely going to find some kind of major peak, whether we consolidate, crash, dump, or whatever takes place after there. I'll be looking to limit positions and then start to create a plan of getting back in at lower areas, not just obviously for Bitcoin, but for altcoins as well. And also for these guys, because again, it seems pretty apparent, it's blatantly obvious for the most part, that crypto stocks, whether it's Coinbase, CleanSpark, Hut, what was the other ones that we look at on the Patreon, there's Riot, and there's a couple of others, they're all crypto mining companies, or in the case of Coinbase and Exchange, they're going to benefit wildly from whatever Bitcoin does. And that also means they will be suffering in any kind of downtrend, prolonged consolidation. So I really like these guys. I think they're great. And this currently takes up a large portion of my pension. I think it is the largest outside of Meta, really. So, really good. But I'm under no illusion that it's not going to come crashing all the way back down again. So, look, we have had a great year in crypto. It has been good. It might not have felt it, but looking at Coinbase will tell you that the year has been good for stocks and for everything. We're up 400% here from the lows, basically a year ago. We will consolidate, and consolidations in this instance could take us all the way down to below 100, and that's fine. And for Bitcoin, towards 30, probably around 33, but around those areas, you've got the 20 weekly sitting there on Bitcoin. We've also got Golden Cross 200 exponential, and Simple sitting around these areas as well on the daily. So all of these areas down here are absolutely on the table to be bought back up, and expect the trend to continue upwards. But as we approach Christmas, you know that the American tax year comes to an end. People take profit. People go on holiday. Trading volume runs stagnant. So I'm not really expecting anything major between now and Christmas, although it can certainly happen. Absolutely can happen. I'm not suggesting that it will, but it could. My major analysis is the same as I've been saying for a while. Bitcoin is likely to approach the top, and whatever happens at that top should be looked at, through with an extreme degree of scrutiny. We don't want to be overexposed in altcoins if Bitcoin does retrace from 48,000 down to 33,000. So you don't want to get stuck in that. But what you would like to do is have available capital to at least trade bounces and dollar cost average, getting ready for the reversals. No one gets the absolute peak. No one buys the absolute low. It's our job as traders, if that's what you're looking to do, is to grab as much price action on a trending move and this whole year has been a giant trending move. Normally, you wouldn't normally expect to see such a prolonged period of upside and consistent gains. So we have been very lucky this year. We forget very quickly what it's like to be stuck in a downtrend. So as we approach the end of the year, as we approach Christmas, it's probably best to make plans for what it is that you want. But if there was an altcoin out there that I like the look of immediately for what could be a 20% move, is GMX. Anyway, a bit of a mishmash of information on that video, but hopefully it made some kind of sense to you. And again, I don't have a crystal ball, I just have charts. And the charts tell me what I believe is going to happen. Most of the time it works, and if anything, I'm not saying that we are going to come down. I'm just saying that there's warning signs to say that we are, that there's less upside available than downside for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin governs the market. And although something like GMX could break through here and go up to 70, maybe even new all-time highs, which it can, if Bitcoin wants to consolidate, it might not happen. There is no crystal ball, you know that. But I would be looking for this to either come back down to have a little bounce around here and then move back up to around here. So we're looking for a 20% move. To risk to reward at this exact level is not great. Back down to the this ascending support would be much better to trade within the triangle and not expect anything other than that. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.